Hey guys, it's Danny here. Video's a little late this week. Had a little situation going on in the family. Everything's fine, just teenage boys being teenage boys. So month and a half on T. Hair's starting to fill in a little bit more. I got one chest hair, named him Brad, because that seems kind of pretentious and douchebag like. I think my voice is deepening, but I don't know. Sometimes it sounds like it normally does. Yeah, still hungry all the time. Haven't really noticed anything else. An exciting thing is my wife bought me my first binder. I love it. Gives you that flat appearance. These aren't too uncomfortable. They're actually really nice. And it's like G2B. I'll figure out the website and let you guys know more later, but I actually really like them. They're super comfortable. Of course, buy the right size. Don't try to go smaller because you want a super flat chest, because even guys have somewhat of a chest or pecs or whatever you want to call them. Be healthy. Only bind 8 to 10 hours a day. Don't go over that. Take days off. All that fun stuff. This week I think I'm going to talk about kind of the process I'm going through, because I had a friend text me and ask me, she's like, some of the questions that came up while she was watching my videos were, what's the process? So in South Dakota, and every state is different. I have a friend more out east-ish that he went through Planned Parenthood, so he didn't have to go to counseling, got testosterone, and did his transition that way. South Dakota is a little conservative, not a huge fan of Planned Parenthoods. So I personally went to counseling. One, I was going anyway for my depression. Got the gender dysphoria diagnosis, which takes like at least 12 sessions here in South Dakota. It also varies depending on your counselor. My counselor's a little more thorough, I feel, than some of the other ones I've been to. But yeah, we did 12 sessions, and even then I still continue to go. And she sent a letter to my doctor saying, yes, Danny has gender dysphoria. Starting hormone replacement therapy would improve her life quality, his life quality, blah, blah, blah. And then most insurances don't cover it, so everything's out of pocket. And then I found a reproduction specialist who also specializes in hormone replacement therapy. And I got that referral from my primary doctor. So a lot of hoops to go through. It took about 6 months to even get set up with the specialist, and then it took about 6 more to actually get a diagnosis and start proceeding. And then I kind of took a longer route because I did some fertility stuff and to like freeze my eggs in case me and my wife ever want to pop out some babies, I guess. So yeah, I went that route first and then started. Sorry, guys. So started T, month and a half. What they typically do, or what my plan is kind of give it a year and a half to try to get the fat redistribution thing under control, because sometimes it pulls from here. It doesn't take all of it away because you do have breast tissue. That's just biology. But to get the fat displacement so that kind of settles in, and then some other stuff settles in, like working out and stuff, and seeing what I can do and try to get healthy before I even investigate top surgery. There's some other personal factors that go into that. Like I said, it's all an individual basis. Mine might take a little longer due to some circumstances, which maybe I'll share in my next video, but we're not quite ready yet. But yeah, so processes depend on person. It depends on state. I would assume more liberal states are a little easier to get get in and get out and be like, hey, this is what's going on, this is this. From all my research from when I was 16 to now being 30, you, I found that you need a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, which most counselors these days are trained in that or at least sensitive to it. And if your counselor isn't, or if you find that they haven't had a lot of experience with LGBT, I personally would recommend not going to that one. And I only say that because I am a clinical mental health counselor. Like, that is my profession. So if they're not sensitive to your needs, you can fire therapists and counselors just like you can fire plumbers and all that stuff, or go find different doctors. I mean, you should not be forced into a relationship. And I say relationship because it is intimate. You are telling this person some deep, dark things that you probably haven't told other people. And that's scary. And if you don't trust that person, I wouldn't tell them. So finding a therapist, a good one, is kind of like interviewing people. I mean, this person is kind of helping you transition into the life you want. So they play a pretty major role, so you want to make sure you're comfortable with them. Other than that, yeah, I'll keep you updated on the top surgery thing, but right now, I'm currently on just the 5 milligrams. Every 2 weeks I take 0.25 milliliters, I want to say. It's 0.25 something of testosterone, and I remember talking to the doctor and be like, that seems really low, but you don't want to shock your body and overload in testosterone, plus your mood swings would be out of control, and you would just, it wouldn't be a good thing. So I take 0.25 every 2 weeks, and I'll be doing this for 3 months before I go back in and see my doctor, and he'll check my progress, and then we'll determine if that's the amount I need to continue on or if we need to up it or lower it, depending on that. With my doctor, he's kind of a goofy old guy, but he's pretty open to communication. So if I were experiencing problems or like really negative side effects that I didn't like, I could easily call him, email him, or just go through. We have my chart thing. And his nurses and all that stuff are pretty flippin' cool too, because they get a hold of you right away if you have questions. Just be like, hey, this is what's happening, should this be happening? And they're pretty awesome and getting back to me and telling me, yeah, that's normal, like, you're gonna see this. I've also done my own kind of research. Google has everything about timelines and everything, because I was like, man, I want facial hair. Unfortunately for me, my family's not very hairy in general, so who knows if I'll even get that. But yeah, got the one chest hair. Brad just chilling, hanging out. The hair on my legs is kind of filling in some of the spots that were faint or lacking are growing in, and my arm hair is getting a little bit darker. Other than that, that's my month and a half. If you guys have questions or anything, drop them in the comments, text me, email me, whatever, Facebook me. I'm willing to answer any questions. Yeah. Have a good one.